I was listening to another video from this brother Kwame Brown, and it's just it's a breath of fresh air, and it's just so refreshing to hear another black man talk and think like you. Um, and a lot of times when if you're not retarded, you know that whether or not you think something, if it's right or wrong, and if you think something and nobody else don't think it, but you know it's right, it sometimes kind of make you feel alienated. So when you hear somebody else say it, like a breath of fresh air, refreshing. But what really bothers me is, and as I spoke about in the message to the Black Community, Volume 15, that I released Friday, as I spoke about, this is my issue with people like the Obamas, Oprah, Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, people, the black people in Congress, who all these people who so called keep blaming the white man and keep black people angry, feeling like the white man is against them. They can't do this because white supremacy. And a lot of my people have bought on to that lie. They have accepted that lie. That lie has passed on from generation to generation, and it's kind of like a handicap to black people. They feel like in their heart of hearts, that it's certain things that they can't do because the white man. Now, granted, we understand that the 50s, the 60s, and beyond, it probably was kind of a little rough for black people. As a matter of fact, we know it was. But once the 70s came, and especially today, I'm talking about today. We not even gonna talk about nothing. We're gonna talk about today. The only people who is holding black people back is black people. Um, and these people, once again, of course, whether you want to call it white supremacy, whether you want to blame it on a Jew, whether you want to blame it on a white man, whatever you want to reach out and grab, these people are not your problem. They're not holding you back. But I will say this. These are the people who are benefiting and capitalizing and creating generational wealth off of you, black man and black woman. Right? They are capitalizing. I'm gonna say this again. They are capitalizing, monetizing, and creating generational wealth off of you, black man and black woman. As you see on this screen, I'm gonna read it in case you can't read. It says that, and see how many of them buy from black businesses. That's the first thing on this page that I see, and the reason why I want to say that before I even read the rest of it is because you're not gonna see these people in your restaurant. If you do, it be by sprinkles. Now, you might see white people come, but none of these people that I got right here listed will be in your black business, black man or black woman, whatever kind of business you got. They will avoid spending money with you. And I'm not sitting here saying this. And one thing about me on this channel, it's a pro-truth channel. So we deal with the truth over here. We deal with the truth because in order for you to find a solution to a problem, you have to be willing to accept ugly truths. And that's one of the issues that we've had in our community for too many years. We don't want to face and talk about certain things. Yes, I will admit that the way we project it and the way some of us are, hell, it's hard for us to even want to deal with each other because sometimes black people customer service is bad. So I will put that out there for the record. That it's not always easy doing business with black people. So I want to say that because, like I say, this is a pro truth channel. This is not blame nobody channel. This is not woe to me because I'm black channel. It's none of that. This is a channel. This is a solution based, solution oriented channel. We calling out stuff. We calling out problems with a solution. We not making up stuff. But I wanted to show this picture because before I go to this video that I'm about to play, I want to show this picture because, as I said earlier, none of these people is in our way or holding us back, but they capitalizing off us. These people will quick. You quick to hear people say, oh, it's no money in the hood. It's no money in the hood. But you will find, depends on what part of the world you in, because it might be a little different. But you will find five or all six of these in any hood. A Chinese food restaurant where they gonna be feeding you greasy food that they don't eat. Of course, they gonna have a liquor store on every block because they know in the hood that's where a lot of pain at. That's where a lot of struggle at. That's where a lot of people dealing with all kind of stuff. So they team that some people want to drown their problems in liquor. And majority of time, I've seen they had black liquor store, but it's very, very, very seldom. Majority of the time, it's gonna be ran or owned by a Korean or a Middle Eastern. You're gonna have a Arab store, a gas station. That goes without saying. You're gonna have a Vietnamese, Chinese, Asian, some kind of type of Asian nail shop. If not one, it's gonna be multiple. You're gonna have the Middle Eastern cell phone store. And in the South we don't really have no pizzerias, but I know New York and up east they have that type of stuff. But all of these people, they come to America. They come to America, bruh, and their target audience is blacks because they have understood. Everybody understand the black man and the black woman. Everybody understand us. Everybody understand that our main goal on this earth is to look better, feel better, and have more finer and nice things than our own people. We compete with us. When they compete with us, they not matter of fact, let me re-say that. They don't compete with us. They eat off us while we compete with each other. Picture that. Just picture you got a family member, right? And you busy compete with your family member when you got somebody that's right outside, or y'all got a friend, and the friend, because they see you compete with your so-called family member, brother or sister or whatever it is, and whatever it is, or I'm trying to give you a good example. Let's say let's say y'all selling cookies. Both of y'all selling cookies. Or no, both of y'all. I'm not gonna make. I can't really think of no analogy at the point. But here it is. We in our own community compete with each other. We want to look better than each other, and they monetizing. And a lot of things that this brother is about to say in this video, I've been saying for years. I know multiple children, multiple young ladies who do nails. But females will not go to them and get their nails done because if they do that, they gonna have to see the person. If they do that enough and build a certain audience around that particular black woman, she gonna be enriched, and they gonna have to see her every day doing better than them off their money. They rather put the money in the Vietnamese or the Asian community, right? It's because it's not that they do it better. Because in my opinion, anything that we put our mind to, we do it better. That's just my opinion, and anybody can take that and run with it, whatever. But that's my opinion. And I know some black women. I even know some white women, but I know some black women who do nails just as good or better than the Asian. But why would they go to the black female when they can go to the Asian? And that's just money in the wind. They ain't gonna see that Asian, but if they get that money to that black girl, now she driving a Benz, she staying in a nice neighborhood, she doing good for herself, it's gonna hurt them because in our community, all we about is compete and flexing on each other. And some of the things this brother is about to say in this video, I feel is so important for the black community to hear. I've been saying these things for years and years and years and years. And I want to be clear. There's a lot of things that I was saying in the past that I was a hypocrite of. And the reason why I say I was a hypocrite of, because I was spending a lot of money with designer clothing. Now, if you want to spend, if you want to enjoy the fruits of your labor, however you want to enjoy it, that's your business. That's cool, that's fine, and that's dandy. But my issue is you constantly have black people who complain, cry, and blame white people and other people when you have all the tools as a community, you have all the tools as a person. I had a friend, man. I tell this story all the time. I had a friend came here from India. Well, he was my friend. I ain't saying like we I've been knowing him. We became friends when he came to this country. Because I was his guy. He didn't even have a vehicle, and that's how we met. I would go to the store a lot. We ended up getting cool. I would take him to and from the work. I would take him wherever he needed to go. I show him around everything. This dude came to his country, came to Lake Charles, Louisiana, where I reside. Didn't have a car, didn't have nothing. Work at the gas station because guess again. I mean, that's the next thing I speak about. These people come here and they lay the groundwork for generation. They lay the groundwork for other people that look like them so they can help their people out. It's not all about seeing our community. We all about our family. I gotta make sure my family straight, and you do, and your family should be your first priority. But we gotta always think long term, generational wealth, not just for your family, but generational wealth as a community. This is what I speak on: Black community, Black America, generational wealth, and this way we can put our generation in power and put our generations in position to help each other. For example, if I'm in a position to where my family's straight, after my family's straight, I need to start doing what I need to do, making the right investment to the point where, whether it be a neighborhood, and that's one of the main things, we got to start buying up America. We have to start buying up America. You got some of these guys got $2, $3, $4 million in cars and two houses. You need to be, listen, if you want to buy 100 cars, that's fine. I was just looking at Rick Ross, one of the guys I really like Rick Ross, and we know Rick Ross got a lot of houses, but at his main house, this dude got like, man, I don't even want to put a number on it because I don't know. This dude got to have at least 50 cars or more, and nothing wrong with that. But you need to be making sure, and I'm not saying I'm not speaking on Rick Ross because I don't know his business, but I'm saying we love wasting money on liability and jury. And I know people may say, well, money, jury, and cars and all that, that's worth money. But this is the thing. That can't go to the next generation. And this is what we have to start focusing on. And that way, our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren, they won't be having to sit down on podcasts and on news and crying and begging, oh, the white man this, the white man that. They'll be in position because they great grandfather put them in the position. And the thing about it is not so much as worrying about your bloodline generational wealth and being more focused after that. That's number one priority. But we got to focus on the Black community generational wealth. And what I mean by that is, if I just worry about my family, maybe my great grandson may be a screw up and swindle everything. So now my bloodline got to start all over again. Whereas if I'd have created a generation, if I'd have put because we can't do it by one, we got to come together collectively and do it. But if I didn't put my ingredient in the pie to make generational wealth for Black America, then even though my great grandson screwed up everything, he will be able to walk into a position to be helped without begging nobody, without having to go get 50 degrees. He'll have corporations that was built by his forefathers and set up the Black community. This is what all these other communities are doing. They making sure they set up community generational wealth. This is why they buying up land and doing all these type of things, buying up stores and doing all these type of things, because they understand that they may have a son, a great grandson, or a great grandson that may be benefiting off of them. Because a lot of these people that you see now in wealth, this is third and fourth generations of wealth, right? And so they understand, okay, if my grandson is wealthy because of me and the thing that I've done, what if he marry a woman that come from a broke family, but she his race? That's not what we want. We wanted to make a way where everybody that look like us can have everybody white, everybody Mexican, everybody from these other races got somebody that they can put in position. Some Black people have that and some of us don't. And we need to make it the way now. This is the time. The opportunity is here. We didn't always have the opportunity that we have now. We have the opportunity to do anything that anybody else doing. It's just our focus in the wrong direction. It's not that we don't have the money, it's that we don't have the sense. No pun intended. We don't have the necessary knowledge, and it's the people who try and the people who empower, the people who should be teaching us these things, they're not teaching us these things. You know, I was speaking about in my volume 15 message to the black community how these people don't care about us, bro. These people that we think love us, these members of the Democratic Party that so-called love black people, these liberal black preachers, these fake black leaders like Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, even Obama, these black athletes, these rappers who so-called love the black community, they don't love us. They don't care about us. Because if they cared about us, you tell people that you care about the truth. You tell people that you care about things that can improve their life and their well-being. You don't tell people that you love. You don't ponder the people that you love. You don't tell somebody who you love that, oh, you're not fat when they way overweight, because you care about that person's well-being, you care about the way they look, and you care about their health. So you're going to tell them the truth. Yeah, you overweight, you need to lose weight. You don't got to say it in an ugly way, but because sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it. But one thing in our community we have a bad issue with is accountability. I mean, one thing in our community we have a bad issue with accountability. And these people in power, they understand that. And so they really sell us out in that way, in my opinion. I feel like they're selling us out because they know they're going to get backlash if they would tell black people certain things like stop killing each other, stop aborting your babies, that 70% of our children are being born in matriarchal household with no man. That needs to stop now. Because like I always say, that's one of the everything starts there. Everything starts there. Because if we can create all the generational wealth and everything, if we continue to raise these children in these single parent households and they be chemically unbalanced, overly emotional, angry, and all the stuff that come from children that's raised in single mother households, we can lead them whatever we want to leave them. They gonna ruin it because their mindset is not formed and conducted right, because they wasn't raised by the two people who brought them in the world. God don't make mistakes. There's a reason why he made it the way a man and a woman must come together to make a child. That child needs his father and that child needs his mother. Both of them are very important in his life because both of them give him things that the other can't give, right? And so, the thing that this brother about to speak, and of course I'm gonna let him talk, and I'm gonna chime in from there from time to time, because these things are important. We need to hear these things, and it's no excuse. But I seen that Indian do that, bro, and he couldn't have been making that much money at a gas station, and this dude literally saved up his money, and eventually got him a vehicle and moved from out here, went to LA, copped him a 18. I'm telling you, I watched it. Ain't nobody told me this. Ain't nobody. Yeah, I heard. This dude came out here with nothing. Got a job, worked, saved him up, got him a vehicle, went to LA, got him an 18 wheeler, eventually getting him another 18 wheeler. And I haven't talked to him in a while. I don't know what he got going on but in his life now, but it's been about 3 years since we talked. I'm sure this dude might have a whole fleet of 18 with it because the way he was moving and the mindset he had. And like I said, we are not broke. It's not that, black people don't got it. We got it. But if you don't got it, you can get it. There's so many ways to make money. If you got to go work a minimum wage job to save your money, just save your money. It's not about how much you make. It's about how much you save. You have to save with a goal. All this buying all this stuff that we don't need to impress people we don't know. And then in the process, we buy all these things from other people. So in the process of us spending all this money, we not even putting the money back in our own community because we not spending it with black people. So we just we giving our, so like I said in the beginning of the video, and like I always say, these other the powers that be, I don't like to speak on no races and all that because I love everybody, but I'm saying, and these powers that be, nobody holding us back, nobody in our way, but they glad that we constantly doing what we doing, repeating the cycle over and over again because they the beneficiaries of it. Them, their children, their grandchildren, and their great-grandchildren moving forward. But I'm going to go to this video, and of course, he gonna talk, and I'm gonna chime in.
window. Reggie Bullock, he got Bullock Island. And this is what the young cats supposed to be doing. And these young jokers, if these young cats wake up with all that money they giving out, if these young cats wake up and not be a dummy like Silly Gilly, buying cars and Chinese and shit, and Japanese speaking cars, if they are not a dummy showboaty clown like him, and they actually go out and they...
Now I want to be clear. That's another thing. You know, a lot of us in our community, we come up with nothing. They come up with our fathers, watching their mama struggle, and all they really know is poverty. So you have a guy coming out of high school, or coming out of college, going to the NFL, going to the NBA, or you got these rappers, they younger than that, and they getting all this money, and so they really don't know what to do with it. And the powers that be could tell them, hey, and I'm not saying it doesn't happen. It happens with some other these races do be telling these dudes, but they don't really be knowing. They don't have the knowledge, and they just don't feel like. That's another thing that's one of the main issues in our community. And the scriptures say, we my people perish for a lack of knowledge. There's a lot of things that we not knowledgeable about, and we just feel like, oh man, f all that, we just gonna figure it out, and so we just don't even really get involved. But we'll put all our energy in trying to get this woman draws. We'll put all our energy in being a thug, being a gangster, trying to get street cred. We'll put all our energy in all of those things, but something that's gonna make us rich for generations to come, that would empower not only our family but our community as a whole. We don't do that. If we had these companies, if we had all these companies, like I say, a lot of our grandparents, they didn't have that opportunity. They was coming out of Jim Crow. They didn't have that opportunity, but we have that opportunity now to create corporations. We have that opportunity, and that way, 50 years from now, that it'll be all black. They'll have nothing but black corporations all over America that would understand black people in their situation. They would understand black people maybe made a mistake in coming home from prison. These other races don't understand that you're a black man coming home from prison. They don't know nothing about it. They can't understand your plight. And so guess what? They choose not to hire you. And that's they right. They got that they in power. But if you was in power and you had the organization, the corporation to employ your own people when they made a mistake, it'll be a whole different landscape. A lot of brothers come home and get back in the streets because that's the only place that's hiring, right? And so we got the opportunity right now to set up the black community for the next 100 years. We gotta start thinking like everybody else think. 50, not no 5 year plan, 10 year plan. We gotta start putting together 50 to 100 year plans. And once we get those 50 to 100 year plans and things are set in place, people in our bloodline may make mistakes, may screw up, but the corporations will be there to pick them up. And if not, if all else fails, they'll be able to go work for somebody who look like them versus going work for somebody who don't look like them and don't understand them or their plight.
Get off their knees and stop kneeling down at any moment they're offended and start using their money when they're offended. You talking about this guy's with $30-40 million, $30 million a year. They're giving it out like snack cakes and got these niggas down on their knees. Just like Big Crit say, that's what we good at though. Believe it. You niggas want to be down on your knees with $30 million, niggas stand up. America is for sale, and they don't want to show you things like what Reggie Bullock just did. Reggie Bullock is going to be able to put a resort, a family home, and everything on this island that he purchased, and he's going to be able to make residual income that's going to go past his playing days. And Reggie Bullock is not going to have to go put on a nice, tight little small outfit and wear purses and do what people say. Now, what if all of these players start buying America instead of kneeling for America.
I want to stop him right there, bruh. He just said something that made a lot of sense. He said that they giving away this money like snack cakes. Ja Moran is 23 years old and he worked $200 million. Now, I'm using him for an example. Let's go ahead on and take all the stuff. Well, matter of fact, we're not gonna use him, but he's still gonna have a long, lucrative career. But let's use James Harden. Let's lose what that boy name in New Orleans? What's his name? Zion Williamson. Let's use some of these players who got $200 million contracts, $100 million shoe contracts, $100 million Poway contracts, and they 25, 26 years old. Let's use them, right? Don't you know, right now in the NBA, every team got 15 players on it. 15 times 30. I don't can't come up with that number right now. But out of all them players, let's just say 80% of them black. I think that's probably a accurate number. So I'm gonna say let's take 50% of black players, the big time players in the NBA, and 50% of black players in the NFL, and they can come together right now. Say, you know what? We gonna get us a nice Lamborghini, get us a diamond chain, or whatever we want, get us a house. But everything else, let's come together as a whole and build something that's gonna last for black, not discriminating against nobody, but right now let's put ourselves. All these other races do it. All these other races, whether they discriminate or not, they put they people first, right? So let's build us something that put us first. We know what we like to do. We know what we like to wear. We know let's put us some let's create us some let's create our own designers. Let's create our own shoe companies. Let's create our own video. All the things that they know black people like. Let's create our own corporation that produce these items. So our people could come directly to us. And black people, not all, but most of us would support that. We would support that, and that would be building something for future references. Not to mention, overnight it was soar, whatever it is, and put them in certain cities, whatever it is. If it's just a mall, or if it's it could be a multiplex, or just put these things, invest into a corporation as a whole, all over America that's black owned and operated, right? No disrespect, no discrimination, nobody, but it's black owned and operated because this is our stake in America. We trying to buy subdivisions, build subdivisions. America is for sale. We could be buying all this stuff and put our own people in position and power. Realtor companies, black owned and operated. Car dealership, black owned and operated. I'm talking about all over America. We would support our own people. We would. You're not gonna get me to believe we would support our own people. That's all that has to happen. We have the money. We just don't have the sense. No pun intended. And we don't have nobody telling us what to do because nobody in our family, majority of the time, never really had no money to know what to do. So we learning as we go. And then, as this brother gonna say in the video, we trusting other races of people to tell us what to do and the right thing. But in their heart of hearts, not saying that they got nothing to do with it, but in their heart of hearts, they really don't want you to empower yourself, not out of hate or malice, but out of greed. And the reason why I say that, because once you empower yourself, black man, once the black man and the black woman come together and empower themselves and take their rightful stake in America, because we too influential and we too powerful and we too talented to still be employees. We in too. It's no, like I say, it's no way you telling me that the NBA and the NFL, which is majority black, dominated by black, and the black and the face of the league had been black for a long time, especially in the NBA, should be ran by a white man. But this is the type of stuff they have because they teach their children to be the owner of the team. They teach their children to be the CEO, while we teaching our children go get 100 degrees so you can be the top dog, or we train our children to be the player, right? So we got two, black people and all these other races got two different agendas, two different blueprints. Like right now, Jacksonville is owned by a Middle Eastern man. So you telling me in the United States of America, the majority owner of a team, a professional team, is an Arab, and none of these teams, which is like I say, dominated by black. You don't have a black majority owner of no sports team yet. That's not no coincidence. And it's not because we don't have the money, because if we don't have the money separately, we could come together as a whole and create something. We could come together as a whole. We could come together right now. I'm going to go a little far fetched, and this might be crazy. Right now, the just black people could come together, and I'm not saying we should do this, because everybody. I like seeing everybody play together because it's great players, of all races in each sport. But black people could come together right now and make their own football league, their own basketball league. We living in that time right now. We living in that time right now where, our family, the door was closed. Then as time passed by in the 70s, the door was open. But now, we living in a time now that the door is wide open with the light shining for black people. All we gotta do is walk through it, but we don't walk through it because we not being told to walk through it by the people in power. And then the people that's in power that look like us, the black people, the so-called black leaders, Barack Obama and all these people, they don't want us to wake up either because they doing like the other races. They exploiting us and benefiting off our pain. They exploiting us, they benefiting off our ignorance, right? Al Sharpton and these people, you never hear them tell. And I spoke about all this in my volume 4 of Message to the Black People. They don't tell black people the thing that black people need to hear, the thing that we need to fix in our community, because they know if the black people fix their issues, then they not gonna have a job no more. How you gonna tell black people the white man, the white man, the white man when they didn't empower themselves and they don't need the white man job no more? They don't need the white man to go to the white man, get in the white man's school, stay in his neighborhood, because they didn't empower themselves and put themselves in a position where they on the level playing field with the white man and every other man. Then what Al Sharpton, who Al Sharpton gonna blame then? So they benefit off black people pain. You never hear them tell black people, Benjamin Crump and all them people. You never hear Barack Obama. You never once heard them say, black people, look, whatever going on with the police officer, we know police officers not perfect, but just comply. Under any circumstance, comply. Comply, comply, comply. And if that police officer violate your rights, write us, get in touch with us, and we're gonna make sure it get investigated to the fullest extent of the law. They don't tell you that because if you stop being angry and hating police, if they stop demonizing police and tell you to comply, then you gonna start listening to them. You're not gonna be angry at police, and then it's gonna be less of y'all dying. Then they won't be able to pull up on their white horse and act like they love you and save you when really all they care about is power and wealth. So none of the people who in position is telling us this, and the other races of people, they not gonna tell us. For one, they don't owe us to tell us that, and for two, we are the cash cows. We the cash cows. So once we empower ourselves, right, the whole paradigm changed now. The whole paradigm changed. A big chunk of their income gone. Of course, they still gonna get money because certain things we still gonna have to go to them for. But the whole paradigm changed, and the black race hustlers and the fake black leaders and all these people that's black that's trying to make sure that we stay down because it's a beneficiary to them, they not gonna have no job. Ben Crump is rich right now off black pain. But you don't never see Ben Crump. You don't never see Al Sharpton. You don't never see Barack. You don't never see none of these same people in the hood protesting or getting on their soapboxes speaking about black on black crime, which is at an all-time high. You don't even see them speak about when a child is sitting at his house, a little kid playing his game, and a bullet come through the house, a stray bullet, and kill him dead because some fools outside his house in the hood gunfight. You don't never hear them speak on it. It's only when a white person or a police officer do something to black people, that's when they swarm in. Because why is that? That's beneficial to them. And black people, I hate to say it, but we so ignorant, aka misinformed. It's not mean you stupid or dumb. We so ignorant and blind that we actually think that they care about us. And we never question the fact that, hey, if you care about us, why you don't come when we really need you? Like every day in the hood where drugs is being sold. Why y'all not marching about selling drugs to our people? Our black women lead the nation in abortion. Why you not in front of the clinic trying to stop our baby from getting killed in the womb? Hell, a whole generation have been killed in the womb. If you cared about black people, you'll tell them to keep their families together. 70% of us is raised in matriarchal households without a father. And that's a problem. That's the number one problem in the black community. But none of these things are being spoke about by these people that so-called love us, that look like us, that we call our leaders, our preachers. None of these people is telling us this. They telling us the white man is holding us back, but the white man not holding them back. They live in the best neighborhood. They kids go to the best schools. The white man not holding them back, just you. And we so ignorant we believe it. But going back to the original subject, what I'm saying, I got sidetracked because I'm real passionate about that, and I always speak about that, bro. Because I'm tired of my people getting played. I'm tired of us getting used and exploited by these people who supposed to so-called love us, our so-called leaders, right? They don't, bro, and black people just can't see through it, bro. But like I say, this generation we living in, man, this is the generation, man, for us to put our mark on the board for future generation. The door is open. We just gotta walk through it. We got the money. We got the money. We just don't have the sense. We got the money. But I want to let this brother finish, and of course I'ma chime in.
What if all these players start competing with Grant Cardone? What if they start buying with their $30 million residual income when you're controlling $1 million, $2 million a week every 2 weeks? When you're controlling that type of money and you got a personal relationship with a bank, nigga, you bet not never let me see you kneeling down. And that's what Craig Hodges, and that's what so many people was trying to tell me and all of the young cats. And this is why they disconnected you from the elders. They want you around dummies. They want you around people that's going to show you cars, show you things that look flashy, but they're all liabilities. They don't show no NBA players that have assets. Now, we all played Monopoly in our lifetime. Now, in Monopoly, you're supposed to buy one house, you're supposed to turn it into two houses, then you're supposed to turn it into three. Then you're supposed to get a hotel. Now, why is it that all of these NBA players, nobody really has no hotels that they can tell you about? Nobody really has no subdivisions they brag about. How is it that these players always talking about what they did with their money? Because I think they got the biggest scheme going on in the world. They have these dumb niggas that they highlight to talk about what they do with their money. And they make Steven Jackson and a lot of these guys get up here and talk about how they used to go to the strip club. Yeah, I used to go to the strip club. Yeah. So they give them niggas their money back. Because it's an easy sell when you stealing money from these players and you're building America off the goddamn players that got all the money to do the Black Wall Street shit that everybody talking about. They got all the money already to do the Black Wall Street shit, but they all, including myself, have been trained to give their money to white people. So here it is, we in a black.
Not just white people, the Jewish, the Arabs, everybody. Everybody come here, come to the hood. If they ain't in the hood, they close by the hood. Johnny Dang started in Sharpstown Mall, and now he got his own place off niggas. That's not white people that got him that place. That's niggas. Niggas selling drugs, athletes. Bought him his own office. That's top of the line, beautiful. It look like a kingdom when you walk in there, right? Because we want to look good. We want to look flashy, and we. This is what we care about. But like he's saying, bruh, all these players can just be buying motels. I'm talking about getting them built from the ground, buying subdivisions, thinking about putting together 50 to 100 year plan. This is what these people are doing. These people are putting together 50 to 100 year plan. We thinking about 5 years from now, right? They thinking about 50 because they understand the economic. They understand America is for sale. They understand this. but they make sure that they get themselves in position. They'll come to America and spend everything they have on something that they know black people like. If it's a dealership and they come out here with $3 million cash, they will spend that 3 million and get a loan and go in the red because they know black people is coming. Jury, clothes. They know. They already know. And they have studied us and they got us down pay. All of them, the Chinese too. They know we love to put that fake hair in our head. We love to get our nails done. More than everybody does it, but we doing it at an alarming rate. You know, I heard a brother say he made a lot of sense. We are the flyest, brokest people in the world. We at the bottom of the economic pole, bro. We don't own nothing. We, like I said, we got a few families that got something going on, but as a community, we at the bottom of the economic pole. But the way we look, carry ourselves, and dress, you would never know it. You would never know it.
Wakanda, but all of us black people are giving our money to white people. How the can you build a Wakanda? How can you build a Black Wall Street when white people got your money? The same people that you keep claiming is your oppressor. How can you build Black Wall Street like that? How can you own any social or economic status when you don't got your money? How is it that 40 to 50 to 60 NBA players can tell you how money has been taken from them? And why is it that don't none of these niggas with this type of residual income are on the courthouse steps buying property every month just like every other American is? How is that? See, we don't need to worry about no system and all this other shit we keep talking about. We need to get a hold of these young niggas that got $231 million and getting $30-40 million a year. And we need to stick them around them elders and let them teach them, not no critical race theory, but let them teach them something real. And let them teach them that they ain't.
I gotta stop you right there, brother. What elders? What elders are you talking about? You talking about them same elders that's telling us that it's the white man holding us back? Them same elders, and I don't, and you know, I know the Bible say respect the gray head, and I respect them. But a lot of our elders, man, and I hate to say this, and I might come off as harsh, but a lot of our elders is two issues with them. They stuck in time. Well, it's more than two. They stuck in time. They don't care about nothing. All they want, all they know is the mailbox. They check, they get in the mailbox, and you know that's it. They don't really care about nothing. They don't have no wisdom. They don't have nothing to tell you. All they telling you is the white man, the white man, the white man, Trump races, and all this foolishness that's not teaching us nothing, but keeping us in the same stasis that we've been in. The elders, I hate to say this, man, they gonna have to just die off. A lot of them, most of them, because there's a few of them out there, but I'm saying for the most part, they gonna just have to die off, bro. I hate to say that, bro, but it just is what it is because they don't have nothing else to give us. A lot of them, they didn't give us nothing. They ain't leaving us nothing. They don't know nothing about financial literacy, right? All they know is to blame the white man and to trust the black pastor. That's all they know. Not God, not Jesus Christ, the black pastor. That's all they know. And the members of the Democratic Party, the fake black leaders, that's who they believe in, and that's all they know. And none of these people is teaching us these things. They telling us white supremacy, systemic racism, police brutality. That's all they know. That's all they being taught. They not talking about none of this stuff. And you know, this stuff that this brother talking, the stuff that I'm talking, the people who need to be saying it, the Obamas of the world, the Oprahs of the world, the LeBron James of the world, who that's what they doing. They buying America. That's what they need to be teaching. They not teaching that because they don't want you to get. It's not that they don't want you to get on their level because they know that probably can't happen. But they don't want you to get out of your situation and empower yourself. Because black man and black woman, listen to me. Once you empower yourself as a whole, what I mean by as a whole, not just the people with your last name, but people who look like you that's part of. Now listen, now listen, let me be clear. It's always gonna people that just don't want to get to the get with the program. It's always gonna people who quote unquote call stuck on stupid. They gonna be left behind. They gonna be left behind. We gonna have to. moving forward, because this the thing that I'm speaking about, the thing this brother's speaking about, they gonna happen eventually. Whether it be a couple years from now, it's gonna happen eventually. Black people gonna get themselves together because there's a lot of brothers waking up. There's a lot of voices that being that's is a lot of voices that's being heard on YouTube, TikTok, but like I say, the voices with the BS is more louder right now. The racism, the systematic racism, the police, those voices are loud right now, and they drowning out the voices like mine, this brother, you know what I'm saying? So, but eventually our voices, because one thing you gotta understand about truth is like pure gold. The BS, all the smoke screen and the stuff that they, the so racist, all the weak stuff, the victimized mentality, all that's counterfeit. That's all that's gold plated. That's eventually gonna tarnish eventually, and the real gonna still be here and still saying what they saying. When that noise go out, this noise gonna still be going. And the newer generation, because especially with these athletes and these celebrities and these rappers, they making more money now than they ever did, and that's gonna continue to grow because the influence that they have, and people gonna start listening to the thing that people like me saying, Kwame Brown saying, and the brothers that saying these things. Cause there's a few brothers and sisters that saying this, and it's more and more every day. People waking up in our community, and I thank God for that. But I will say this here: these are the things that, like I said, once these things begin to take place, which, like I said, they will take place. It's only being delayed, but it can't be stopped. So it's going to eventually take place. And once we put ourselves in these positions, all these fake people, they gonna be exposed for who they really is, and some of them might die off. Some of them might die off, but like the Al Sharpton and the Jesse Jackson, not wishing death on them, but they up in age. So some of these people are gonna die out. They're not gonna be able to see it, but some of them still be here, and they gonna do a one or two things. Either they gonna disappear and go in oblivion, or they gonna play along like they was all along the whole time. But we gonna know, people like me gonna know they wasn't, because every time Barack Obama and these so-called celebrities, athletes, fake black leaders speak about something, every time it's never nothing about black people taking accountability and empowering themselves. It's always blaming somebody else, right? And that's just a poisonous thing that, once again, in my opinion, I always say, started in the civil rights movement, which was a big mistake, by the way. And I got a video on my channel explaining that.
Ain't buying no more land. You guys got the money to buy back America. It's for sale. How come no real big NBA players have ever touted about how much land? How is Grant Cardone still one of the only white guys I know bragging about $2 billion in real estate? And then,
For the record, for people who don't know who Grant Cardone is, he's this big time real estate guy, and he one of those guys. He I'm not gonna say he want to be black, but he kind of because he real flashy. He's an older white guy too, but you can check him out. But he's real wealthy. And he speak about investments. He always talking about that, and he real flashy. But just in case, just to let y'all know who that guy is, and if you want to look him up and check him out.
not one black athlete that has challenged that yet. How is that?
Not even LeBron.
Why is that? When you got a residual income of $30 million, there's not one bank that's gonna tell.
Like, we gotta change the paradigm. I don't mean to cut. We gotta change the paradigm. The things that we use to make us feel better and to impress other people, we gotta change that paradigm to buying land, buying companies, buying real estate, whether it be a car dealership, a subdivision, a hotel, a condominium. We have to change the paradigm to make it that cool versus buying cars, jewelry, and clothes. Like, dude, got to make that cool. But how many houses you got? Man, I got 3 houses. I got a realtor. I got 3 spots. I got three properties. We have to change that paradigm, because that's what they doing. That's what all these other powers that be, and that's above us on the economic pole. That's what they're doing. Man, I just bought this property over there. I'm about to turn that into a skate park. I just bought this property over there and get creative with it. Own, black owned and operated. That's how we gotta do. We gotta change that paradigm because right now, cars, jewelry, and clothes, and how many women we slept with, and how many guns we got. That's what's cool in our community.
You know about nothing. If your money is not in the stock market, if it's in assets, there's not one thing you can be told no on. How is it that we don't have black folks that rival Grant Cardone? Why is it that Jay-Z, Puffy, don't know black folks have 200 billion or 2 billion in real estate? What is going on? Why do all the black folks have the same thing they always go and do? Why all the rich celebrity black folks always go build a school? How come they build a school but they don't build a bank? How come they build a school but they don't build a subdivision where they can house black people, where they don't get kicked out and get told what to do? How come they don't buy these islands? How come we just do all this talking?
Big baguette, big sizzles. The new pepperoni mozzarella melt from
How come we just do all this talking when America is for sale and we got the money to buy this? Why are we still kneeling down? Why do we still do slogans? I'm like, literally, we got the money to buy this. Why do we do slogans? Why is it that I'm being attacked because I said put trading and coding in schools? So these young black boys that's being most affected by not having proper training and proper skills, why am I being attacked for saying that? Why am I being attacked for saying you need to buy land? These athletes are letting white people spend. I remember a time where my money was being played in a stock market that I did not understand. I'm just going off the fact that I'm hoping these white people know what they're doing with my money. And if they don't know what they're doing, then oh well. So why don't we buy tangible things that we can sell? Why are they not teaching these athletes to buy silver, to buy gold? A stock market, buy silver, buy gold, buy property. Why is that not the first thing that athletes are buying? Kwame, you know this is why they hate you? I know. But this is what an OG, a so-called OG, supposed to do. You're supposed to look at your life. You're supposed to go off of what worked and what didn't work. And I know the land is what worked. White folks are buying up the hood. Y'all keep thinking there ain't no money in the hood. Everything in the hood is owned by Arabic or white folk.
Or
And they're making
Chinese.
plenty of money off of your black ass because they selling things to you. You don't buy things from black people. You would rather the face not look like yours because you don't want to make another black rich.
Preach.
You don't want to see a black person with the amount of money as Grant Cardone. No. He think he better than us.
Preach, brother.
So you could shadow ban me. You could tell me I'm the trading and coding guy. You could tell me whatever. But the one thing you can't tell me is why everybody ain't saying the same thing I'm saying. Why ain't everybody?
And that's another thing. You always have one of these pea-brain niggas, right? That's why you gotta say, we speaking on the, like on this channel, bro, and I always lose to say that, and I always gotta make sure I say that for future references. Cause my channel's small right now, but it's gonna be big. You always got one of these pea-brain niggas who wanna come speak on the exception. We have to speak on the rule. Yes, it's black people that got generational wealth. Yes, it's black people that's doing all these things that Kwame and I talk about and a lot of other brothers talk about, but it's not being done enough. It's an exception. We want to make it the rule. You got this guy coming, Jay Prince got land in Bermuda. Of course, we know Jay Prince got that land. He been talked about it. Well, he didn't talk about it. He said he was over there and he on his island or whatever. So you always gotta to because they got pea brain. Stick with the stick with what we talking about. Just stick with us. Don't get off subject and talk about, oh well, I know. Come on, bro. Let's stop. Let's talk about the picture. Let's not talk about the frame.
Everybody's saying trading and coding and kid in school for these kids. Why ain't everybody saying buy land? And shout out to Reggie Bullock. Reggie Bullock is going to probably create something that's going to bring his family joy, peace, and happiness, because that's what you make this money for. Make it comfortable for your friends and your family. Make it comfortable for your family and your friends. And make some money while doing it. Go, young brother, go. I hope, like, I don't know what, that these young players stop buying these Versace, and all this other stuff. If you're going to teach these kids critical race theory and teach them white man bad, then you need to teach them to buy black. You need to teach them to create something that's black. That's the reason why we can't buy black, because niggas don't create nothing. We buy everything. And so this young man is creating something, and I hope you do it well, because I'm coming. I hope you build one of the nicest resorts over there in Belize, because my family can enjoy a resort by a black man. And I could be proud to say it's some money going into a black man pocket, just like I so willingly spent for a white man pocket. They're teaching black folks how to be workers and not bosses. Teaching them to be comfortable and happy with accolades and words like doctor and degrees of bullshit.
You know, I always tell him that man. Let me rewind. Let me go back right there, because I always tell these people, you always holler about black people the most educated, and then of course the black woman. I'm not, we not, like I said, it's not a gender war channel. I don't do the whole black woman thing and all that there, but you always got black women that every chance they get, they talking about we the most educated we the most black women so educated, so educated, so educated. They go get 100 degrees. They marry their degrees. You got women in their 60s trying to go get a degree, right? You know what I'm saying? Like what are we doing here? This is not about you going to get no extra money. This is about your this is about you being validated. This is about yeah, because it's not always, these women going to college and get 18 degrees, going to college for 40 years, and they doing all this stuff. This is for validation. This is to go at the family dinner and say, I got all these degrees. Same reason why a lot of them, but I'm not gonna get off of that right now. But yeah, and so they always hollering about getting on their soapbox. Well, black women are more educated, but yet they not doing nothing. They not doing nothing for the black community. They not doing. I'm talking about as a whole. You got a few, but I'm saying as a whole, they not doing nothing but their black community. But what they doing? Being most spender. The more money they make, the more they go and buy Versace. The more money they make, the more money they put in these other people's pocket with these fake weaves, these fingernails, these cosmetics. That's all they doing with the money. So they so educated, but they not doing nothing for their own community. All they doing is telling the other ones, like he say, they training up they children to be workers. Go get a degree. Go get a degree. And I'm not demonizing the degree, because degree, like I say, college is great. I don't feel like it's essential, but it is a great thing for certain people. It's not for everybody, but it's for certain people. And so I'm saying all that to say, but this is what's being taught. Why they being taught in other communities, a whole nother thing. But that's because we don't have a ruling class mindset. In our community, we have an employee communist socialist mindset. Depend on the government or depend on the school system, so I can get a good job and work and spend all my money with these other people, not with my own. But I want to rewind what he said, because he just hit, that was a hot track right there. Real talk. That was powerful what he say. Listen to what this brother say.
Willingly spent for a white man pocket. They're teaching black folks how to be workers and not bosses. Teaching them to be comfortable and happy with accolades and words like doctor and degrees of bullshit. When you don't own the damn land, you can't tell nobody about nothing. We used to own the land. The first thing black folks should be doing in America is buying back their land that we claim is stolen from us. Why you keep buying foreign cars if you got land that's owed to you? Why the you keep buying these white people foreign cars if you got land that's owed to you and you got the money to buy back in land? But no, somebody white teaching you to kneel down. Somebody white teaching you to stand down. Kneel down, pray about it, yell about it, march about it, hold your fists up in the air about it. You know, do the same shit you did for 60 or 70 years. Don't do something.
I want to pause when he said pray about it. I always believe in prayer, so I don't know where he was going with that, but I disavow. I believe in prayer, but I mean, you got, and I want to be clear when I say this, because I got a message on my channel about faith without works, and a lot of time that particular scripture is took out of context. But at the end of the day, a lot of when you praying for something, God don't need your help, but in certain situations, you gotta do it. It has to be an action from you. You can't pray for a new house, a new car while you sleep every day. You need to be trying to find something that, if it's just a job, now God gonna point you in the right direction. You need His supernatural favor. You need His supernatural interference to push you at the front of the line. But you gotta do something. And like I say, it's not that He needs your help. He need to see that you willing to do something. I mean, I'm trying to make it clear, because like I said, I got a message on my channel about faith without works is dead. And when people speak on that scripture, it's a lot of times took out of context and what that actually means. But and I broke that down. But in this instance, um, I'm just gonna say this here. I believe in prayer, but I don't believe in prayer and not doing nothing. You gotta pray and do something. So, um, you don't have. And what I mean by that is not like God needs your help, right? But God gonna bless the work of your hand. You know what I'm saying? God, and what I mean by bless the work in your hand, whatever it is that you praying for, if you want God to bless it, you gotta be doing something. You can't just be, you know what I'm saying? So just, you know what I mean? But it's not that He needs your help, and I like to be clear on that, because I don't want people to think that, oh, I'ma do it, but I'ma help. You don't need God. Don't need your help. You might be praying to God for, you know, somewhere to stay, not nowhere in particular, but that supernatural favor will put you in a 2-story house. You need God's supernatural favor. You don't want to do it on your own. You want to pray also. You want to pray for guidance, because if you're not doing nothing, in some situations we can't do nothing. We kind of like our hands tied. But by your prayer, God will begin to put the things in your mind, put the things in your heart, basically giving you a roadmap on what to do. And so that's why you got to always stay in prayer. So I don't know where he was going with that. I don't know if he was saying what I'm saying, or he don't believe in prayer. I don't really know. But I wanted to put that out there because I am big on prayer. Prayer changes everything. And like I say, if it's a situation, God, God don't need your help. But sometimes when we pray, God will put the ideas, the thoughts in our mind and our heart, and lead us in that way. Lead our we direct our path, and guard our step and direct our path. And that's what prayer does. So I don't know what he was saying with that, but I'm gonna let this finish. I'm gonna rewind that little piece, and I'm gonna close out on this, man.
We used to own the land. The first thing black folks should be doing in America is buying back their land that we claim is stolen from us. Why you keep buying foreign cars if you got land that's owed to you? Why the you keep buying these white people foreign cars if you got land that's owed to you and you got the money to buy back in land? But no, somebody white teaching you to kneel down. Somebody white teaching you to stand down. Kneel down, pray about it, yell about it, march about it, hold your fists up in the air about it. Do the same shit you did for 60 or 70 years. Don't do something different. Don't buy the land back. Don't focus on your family's wealth and your health and well-being. No, don't focus on that. Focus on hot girl summers. Focus on bad boy summers and who's the realest, who's the thuggerish, ruggerish. Focus on all the shit that's going to end your life and be destructive to you.